Hello, everyone, and good evening. My name is Don, Teflon Don, the unlicensed sex doctor. And tonight I'll be talking to you about sexual things, things of the sexual nature, things that involve sex. All right, fuck all that. I'm joking. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Threesome Show. Another week, another crazy situations. So, tonight we're going to be talking about strange sexual encounters. Yes, absolutely. Strange sexual encounters. You've all had them, or at least a couple of you have had them, and we're going to talk about them tonight. But before we jump into the strange sexual encounters, I want to hit y'all off with the man code. But this week is actually someone who kind of understood the code. He kind of knew the code, and I figured I would tell you all for those of you who do not know how the man code works. So I'm at the gas station. I'm pumping gas. Um, and I, ran inside the store real quick, grabbed some smokes and soda. So on the way inside the store, I see a young lady, a very fit young lady, or young-ish, And there was a guy walking next to her. Now they weren't walking close enough to make it automatically apparent that they were together, but they wasn't walking far enough apart to insinuate that they were not together. Um, but since she was fit and her body parts was in place, I'm looking. I'm looking. So I guess he peeped it from the window, and when he realized I was looking from the window, he had to go ahead and claim his. So he reached out, pulled her close, put his hand on her bunkie, and I was like, yeah, okay, respect. But the fact still remained, the body was slamming. So when I get inside the store, you know, I'm grabbing some stuff. So I get ready to go back towards the cooler to grab me a soda, and he's walking from the cooler. And I had to give respect where respect's due. You know what I'm saying? As a man, know the code. So you know what I'm saying? I just gave him a quick fist bump, and I was like, hey, yo, blessings, yo. and he gave it a nod, and I was like, that's right, you got it. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, producer. Welcome, black ladies and gentlemen. We should have some fun today. So we're talking about strange sexual encounters, and normally I usually start off with the guys because the ladies, you know, they usually have more. And but I gotta go ladies first this time because even though the numbers are about equal, the ladies are stuck with some strange dude. So so the first one we're gonna jump off into with both feet. This one is called "The Sheeps Are Watching." The sheeps are watching. And a young lady in her 18 to 20-year-old range. She's dating this guy, and they head out to the barn. I would assume he's still living at home with his family, and they head out to the barn to partake in some sexual activities. Um, and he proceeds to aggressively dry hump, and I guess in my time we called it clothes burning. He dry humps her and works himself up to a super frenzy, and she's like, "What the fuck's going on?" And as she's trying to figure out what the hell he's doing, she looks around and realizes there's a bunch of sheep in I guess in the bends around them, like watching, like ready to I guess go next. I don't know what they were doing, but they were watching. and he dry humped himself into a nut. Like he never took his clothes off and came in his pants. If that's how we starting it off, it can only get worse from here. Um, the next one is called "He Wanted Me to Slap His Balls." He wanted me to slap his balls. Um, and she proceeds to say, "I dated a dude for a while who was really getting into, our sexual engagements. And during one of these sexual engagements, he screams out while I'm, giving him head, 'Please slap my balls.'" And she said she slowed down on giving him head for a second and to make sure that he was saying what he was actually saying, and he yelled it out again, so she proceeded to slap the shit out of his nuts. I don't know about any other guy that's watching, but for me, don't slap my nuts. You might get punched in your forehead. Not good. The third one is he wanted to drink my breast milk. He wanted to drink my breast milk. I'm gonna take a sip on that. So although this is strange, I have heard of this from other people. Um, so basically, this young lady, and I call them young ladies because I don't want to call them anything else. Um, this young lady was, her and her children's father had split up, and she was dating this new guy, and she was near the point of giving birth. So her breasts are plump and looking right, sitting up kind of high. And during sex, he tried to, suck on her nipples, and she was like, no, for one, they're sensitive, and for two, they're producing milk already. And he tells her, "I know, I want to taste your breast milk." She let him, you know. I guess in the midst of sex, and pregnant women are pretty horny. In the midst of sex, she didn't want to stop him, so she let him do it. But yeah, not what I'm into. Kind of weird. Nor am I into having sex with a female that late into pregnancy either. Um, that's you know it just whatever. Um, number four, I had phone sex and regular sex at the same time. Okay, so she goes on to say, um, I was probably about 18 or 19 and went on a 3 day heavy metal, went to a 3 day heavy metal festival, um, and I was bored. Since I was at the festival by myself, and I was just sitting in front of my tent. Oh, okay. So I'm trying to visualize it in my head. So it's one of those festivals where you bring a tent, you're sitting on the grass, and you're watching the festival from the grass. Okay, so you're now okay. Okay, just had to make sense of it in my head. Um, and she gets approached by a guy. And the guy, her and the guy hit it off. They get into having sex, and she gets a phone call from another guy, not a boyfriend. I guess she's single and dating another guy, and the guy that she's having sex with tells her to put him on the phone. So she does. She's panting. The other guy gets turned on. The one that's on the phone. So the guy that's on the phone is jerking off, and the guy inside the tent with her is hitting it. Yes, yes. He's a bad chick, Shouty. He's a bad one. Um, Number five is called, and I say this with excruciating pain. Yes, a 2 for 1. That for her, a two for. So number five is once again I say this with the thoughts of excruciating pain, and it says I watched him stick a metal rod in his penis. She goes on to say, I hooked up with this very sweet guy, but after some pretty alright sex, he started talking about how he once had to have a catheter. And for those of you who don't know what a catheter, I'm sure most people know, but a catheter is basically a tube that goes inside your penis to help you urinate after you have a surgery or whatever. So he was talking about that, and yeah, nah. I don't even like the way this story's going. So he's talking about it. He's telling her, and she's engaging in the conversation with him for one reason or another. And he proceeds to say, I can show you what it looks like when they put the catheter in. And he took a small metal rod and slid it into his penis. Um, and she became pretty damn grossed out and she left. She left. She couldn't hang out with that shit. Number 6, he roared like a lion. Now this one is super funny for me because I actually had sex with a female who meowed like a cat. So he roared like a lion. This other chick meowed like a cat. So here we go. She goes on to say, so she goes on to say, I briefly, casually dated this guy, and during one time we had sex, he started to roar like a lion. It was very weird. He was very loud. I was shocked. I could not achieve an orgasm as long as he continued to do this. So in the middle of having sex, I just got up, I got dressed, and I left. And rightfully so. If you can't achieve an orgasm, you might as well leave. Why allow him to use your body to jerk off with? Especially when he's being that fucking weird. Number 7, the guy had a giant fetish. The guy had a giant fetish. Okay. So she goes on to say, dude was into being made to feel like a tiny human. Literally had a giantess is the word she used, fetish. Yes, they're all weirdos. Um, Basically, he would request. He could only get hard if she was basically crushing his face and making him to feel as if he was smaller, or I'm assuming less significant than her. Um, and she did it the one time, but because she couldn't see herself being, I guess, a dominant at that point, she couldn't continue it, and she no longer saw him. Yeah, yeah. And I wish I could say that that was the worst of it, but as the commercial says, but wait, there's more. Um, I was in handcuffs and he had a seizure. Fuck. So this young lady or older lady. I don't know what the hell she is. I don't know her age. But anyway, she goes on to say, I was in a BDSM relationship. And the fella one night got her blindfolded, handcuffed her, hands to the bedpost, and shackled her feet. And she knew that he had just recently had brain surgery. We're gonna put a whole pin in that. So he had just recently had brain surgery, and after she got all chained up, I guess it worked him up, and it caused him to go into a seizure and lose consciousness. So let's Picasso this picture right now. She is handcuffed to the bedpost, legs shackled. This dude has a seizure on the bed and loses consciousness. Yeah, damn Gina is right, yo. So she goes on to continue to say, she's trying to get him to wake up. So she's like trying to talk to him, but he's semi responsive, semi lucid. Um, and but and she's asking him, give me the keys to the cuffs, but he's so out of it, he can't really figure out what she's saying, and he can't respond. Like his eyes are open, he's muttering, but he can't respond. So she took her legs, which are shackled. Picasso, this picture, everybody. Hands cuffed to the bedpost, legs shackled. Yeah, he does sound like a younger guy. Because after brain surgery, this guy right here probably would take a hiatus on sex for a moment while I get my head together, so to speak. Um, so she basically took her legs and wrapped the shackles over his neck to, I guess, continue to beat on his head, his neck and head, to get him to regain full consciousness. And when he came around, which was about an hour and a half into the whole thing, so he was in this state for an hour and a half. He came around. He unlocked the shackles and cuffs, and she called an ambulance for him. Man, weird is an understatement. Um, number nine, number number nine is he wanted me to wear exotic fur. He wanted me to wear exotic fur. Um, so this lady says that while she was in college, she was dating a guy um, who was, well. So she's in college. She's in her probably, I guess, 18 and mid 20s, and she was dating a 40-year-old guy that she met at a bar. And every time that she would come over to his house to engage in sex, he would want her to put on a fur coat. So he had the coat, and he would want her to wear it while they had sex, um, because he enjoyed the feel of the fur in his hands while he was penetrating her. The fuck. Um, and she said that having sex in a fur, um, yeah, beastie fucking alley, bestiality, yo, bestiality. That's exactly what the hell that is. She said one time while having sex, because the fur was so hot, she almost became overheated and almost lost consciousness. She became overheated and almost lost consciousness. Okay. I'm actually almost regretting doing this one, this whole segment, um, because this shit is weirding me out, yo. Where do y'all meet these guys at? Because I want to tell all my viewers, don't go there to meet a guy. Because this shit is crazy. Here goes another one. Another fucking one. Okay. So this one says he asked me to put a needle into his pee hole. She goes on to say, um, I was dating a doctor one time, and we tried multiple, you know, pretty close to outlandish sexual things while we were together. We were pretty open with sex. And one time during sex, you know, he's sucking my breasts, I'm massaging his genitals, and he told me that he wanted me to put a needle, a syringe, into his pee hole. At first, she thought he was joking. Man, I'm ready to sign off. I'm ready to sign off after this. Um, so at first, you know, she thought he was joking until he actually produced the syringe that he wanted her to use. Needless to say, she got up out of there. Yeah. Yeah. They need more than just a real doctor. So they need a doctor, a psychiatrist, and a priest. Um, they need them all. So she this was something that even though they had done some outlandish things during sex, this was something that she could not engage in, because she couldn't stomach it, and she left. So that's the 10 for the ladies. That's the 10. Um, so I've had some pretty strange ones myself. I'm not gonna get into the guys yet. I'm gonna get into the guys after we come back from the music break. But I'll tell y'all a few of my strangest ones. I've told y'all on previous episodes about the young lady who meowed, and then on the first night we had actually met and had sex, she asked me if I love her the next morning. Um, I had a very strange one night stand one time. Um, I was driving home from work late at night. It was about 11 o'clock at night. I get a phone call. Um, yeah, that was the heavyweight ones. That was the heavyweight ones. The guys are a little less, but nevertheless very engaging. So one night I'm driving home from work about 11 o'clock at night. I get a phone call on my cell phone, um, and I answer, and young lady asked for Mike or whatever, and I was like, oh, I don't know who Mike is. You have the wrong number. And she continues to say, well, what's your name? And I was like, my name's Chocolate, because that's what they used to call me, my nickname. And she goes, so what are you doing tonight? And I was like, bitch, I'm going home. And she was like, well, I was trying to reach out to my boyfriend, but I can't get in contact with him. Would you like to meet up? Right? And I was like, is this a fucking setup, yo? Get the fuck out of here. Who calls and does this shit? Um, yeah, random stray, random stray. But you know, I'm down and fucking like sex. So I'm like, yo, shit, fuck it, yeah, let's link. But I'm gonna pick the hotel spot. I know I have my heat on me, so I wasn't worried about that. So we met outside of a diner, She pulls up in the car, and I'm thinking, yo, this is some real shit. Like, yeah, Stray Cats. There you go. So I'm like, yo, this shit is real. I'm like, I really thought like nobody's gonna show up. It was a fucking prank. Chick shows up. So we go across the street to the hotel. She goes in. It was no long talking. It was a smash bang. Got up, walked away, never exchanged numbers. Well, I had her number on my cell phone, and she called the wrong number, so I guess she had my number. That was it. A true to life one night stand. And we've only said our names to each other one time. I never even remembered what the hell her name was. Never called her again. She never called me again. I guess she found Mike after that and she went on with her life. But yeah, that was fucking weird for me. I've had one night stands, but I've never had no one call me, get the wrong number, and give me a one night stand. That was a fucking strange one. Now, that was during my young and dumb years, because at the age I am, I would never link up with nobody who called me on the wrong damn number. You know, I was at the point back then, just fucking like mid-20s, where I was invincible and thought nothing could fucking happen to me as long as I had a gun on me. But I would not do no shit like that now. I got shit to live for. But yeah, that was my weird one. Young, dumb, and full of cum. That was fucking me, yo. And now I'm older, a little bit smarter, and still full of fucking cum. So, we are going to jump into the mix this week. Yo, I put some heart and love into this mix this week, so I hope everybody enjoys it. I am going to link up with you all on the other side of the mix. We're going to listen to what the guys had to say. And I'll be back. But yo, this mix right here is fucking hot. Enjoy the shit out of it. Because I did. I enjoyed putting it together. And I've listened to it 4 times since I put it together. So enjoy it. I'll be back. Meet y'all on the other side.
Spice and Steph London. You're 3.14 tighty. Girl angle you about 90. Pussy degrees hotter than the pepper scotchy. Dan dada woulda fuck you up on a backseat, put it in, take it out. Camera, amateur. Girl fuck on the scene in a deep pussy dream. Rock your back, bust liver, bust spleen. When the bullet hit your belly in. Clock, work, 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 clock, work. Me no stop, work on the block. Work, below one, oh, work, don't stop. Work on the top, work, don't stop. From the block, Julie, whole contract. Work. Pussy when me get in a normal. Show it fuck up when me come in a conscious. It's a stick up. Why put your hands up? When you slide in at the thing, electricity conduct. On me body fat, wait till the thing rise up. Shelly belly flat, she have a Miami tummy tuck. Clock, work, 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 clock, work. Bad gal wine and flick it off. On the body if you travel and split it off. Split it off, flick it off and pop it off. Tell it pop it come hard and it comes soft. Push it in, take it out. Why me when you push it in, take it out. Legs to the sky with my dentals. Put pussy if I get strong. Boy, when me ride, this a tight. Cocoa bit and a bite, send it up, send it up like a kite. I know 5 or no 10, it's 100 precise. Clock, work, 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 clock.
I saw the body inflate when him see me gyrate. Me like when me bend up and the cock a penetrate. Me and a man a fucking a 52 state. Good old me great, me no keep dirty mate. Boy I love it when me catch you one side. Girl I try for the work but she never qualified. All the pastors say this and I try for backslide. Ride me no fuck man a hide. So me brace it and me sit down pan the top. In a trunk, in a rain, all in a tree top. Make nice Irene, someone call the cop. Work me a work, bumper me non stop. Man, I start up at the front.
Bad man out and stunting. Kyle them thick like dumpling. girl with big body jumping. Action, ready for the thumping, ready for the thumping, ready for the thumping.
Bad girl step out, I'm stunting. Queen, my ties them tick like pumpkin. Look pon me, big body jumping. My money tick like a caramel dumpling. Remix style of the vocal range. Black and beautiful, so me not play. Me no pray, me no chat, me no eye girl. Me money make a girl act suicidal. That girl fake like me weave them. Oh Lord, girl say she bad, me no believe them. Rich, watch how me a beat them. Chanel, Fendi, me Louis V them. But there's female out there, tell them to confront. Location a change and the money me a on. First class up front, it a lip a girl a grunt. Me bank account fatter than my front.
We out and bad, stunting. Them gyal say we sweet like pumpkin. True we Kyle them tick like dumpling. Kyle them tick like dumpling. Out and bad, stunting. Them gyal say we sweet like pumpkin. True we Kyle them tick like dumpling. Kyle them tick like dumpling.
Blazing and blunting. Make way for the big truck shunting. Steadily we boom boom hunting. Now no time for the war nor the gun thing. Yeah, hear me mighty, I just funting. Run the girl them water like fountain. From them sitting it buff up like a mountain. Climb to the peak, no rerouting. Me love kinny girl and me love plumping. Anyone I wanna come give me something. And a day now week now monthing. Guarantee hear me I get the girl pumping. See.
Remember good no man, bad man make the most shot fire. Remember good no man, killers where we power with wanted from Kentire. Remember good no man, remember good no Elena retire. Bounty killer, Praga, Cabra, set the place boy a fi follow. Remember good no man, I meet them send for Fibos Rihanna. Remember good no, we a run the place before there was no black. Remember good no man, no trap, no Afrobeat, there was no other. Remember good no man, Bobby Candas, where you say Jabba. Remember good no man, the trailer load a girl we come fish up. Remember good no man, Super Cat, the real dandada. Remember good no man, when Australia used to run proper. And Mr. Wakia level down the place just like a waka. Remember good no man, Dirty Fridays and passa. Remember good me signal the plane and get a call from NASA. Remember good no man, time and with the wire in a waist. Jelly belly, Marvin the beats, them still along the place. Remember good no man, Jamaican gun parade just like Gaddafi. Remember good no man, Sherlock McGregor, Gully, Brook Valley. Remember good no man, Kathy Jim Brown, Dodos, Papa Zig. Yeah, Mountain View, Jarrett, and Dunkirk, out of here. Give them a cool reminder if them don't remember. When that I ram up the peanut man was the only vendor. The entry fee couldn't find the $50 fee enter. Gilly priest of the thing at the gate, so we have to watch with temper. Give them a cool reminder if them don't remember. BT one the red carpet, what don't get who them send for. Me never switch no day, me never ever change me culture. Never swap for rap, not traffically dance and me represent. My good no man, we still a beat them think we did retire. Still a bring the fire, Saturday she sing pan for me mic. Sunday sing for choir, still a do it. 100 gal a week, gal from overseas, gal from Brooklyn and Africa. Remember good no man, we the one of them a humiliate. Remember good no man, Jamaican bring the rap into the state. Remember good no man, Bob Marley still around the place. So go tell a Lua you said dance all a win the race. Remember good no man, give them a cool reminder if them don't remember. When that I ram up the peanut man was the only vendor. The entry fee couldn't find the $50 fee enter Gilly Priest.
Yes. I am back. I hope everybody enjoyed the mix. I enjoyed making it for you all. Yo, Spice are ridiculous. Look at, ooh, that gal there built like a. Okay, let me get back. Because the videos was hot. Thank you. I put a lot of love and heart into that mix, and I'm definitely going to play that mix again because I enjoyed all three songs. So we are back, and we are talking about strange sexual encounters. And we've had some strange ones. There we go. If you missed the first part of the show, please, I implore you, since I had to sit through talking about it, you should sit through listening to it. Go back and watch the replay and listen to the first 10, which came from the women. We're going to jump into the guys and their strange sexual encounters. This one is called The One with their hairbrush. The one with their hairbrush. So, a gentleman, young man, is on vacation by himself. He's chilling. Not something I do particularly, but I do know people who will go on vacation by themselves and just enjoy spending time alone. He is on the beach, and I'm sorry, he was vacationing in Brazil. If that doesn't make a big difference, but anyway, he was in Brazil, and he runs into a couple, man, female couple, and the husband wanted to watch his wife engage in sex. I would probably be freaked out just on that alone. But I'd do like he did, and I'd go through it. Fuck it, like he went through, and while he's having intercourse with the wife, the husband is masturbating. Apparently, that's already too much for me going on. But yeah, I'd probably still smash, but it would be weird, and I'd have to agree. I'd have to say I probably wouldn't be able to sustain a decent erection just because of the amount of weirdness. But it gets weirder, everybody. It gets worse. So the husband is masturbating, and he calls out to his wife to shove the handle of the hairbrush in his rectum while she's getting fucked and he's jacking off. He wanted to get butt fucked by a hairbrush. Okay, I almost threw up 3 times in my mouth just reading that. And if anyone has not watched previous episodes, I really don't read the entire description of the different things that I read before I get on the show, because I want to be as shocked and amazed as you all are. This one I wish I would have read in advance, because I would not have included it. Let's move on from that shit. Let's just move on from that shit. This one is called The Gangbang. The Gangbang. So, gentlemen, because these are all the guys. So, gentlemen's at a naturist spa, so a natural spa. And he's in a mud pool. And he starts to hit it off with a female. So let's paint the picture real quick. When you're in a mud bath like that, you're nude. Your body's nude. You're in a mud pit. And he's having a conversation with a female. He's hitting it off with her. She reaches down, starts to, stroke him. And he's thinking, I just hit the jackpot. And he notices that her other hand is otherwise engaged on the other side of her, because she's stroking somebody else off at the same time. Other guys notice, and I guess they figure, what's good for the two is good for you. And other guys begin to gravitate over, and she pretty much works off all of them until the gentlemen around her begin to ejaculate, which it was weird. Then it got nasty, in my opinion, because now y'all all busting off in this damn mud pit that y'all all sitting in. Fuck out of here. Not nice. This next one, number 3. is called She Likes to Share. She likes to share. So, a guy's been dealing with a female, dating a female, not in a full blown relationship, but they're dating. And she, yeah, it is getting weirder and weirder. It is getting weirder and weirder. So, he's dating a female, him and his boy and his boy's girl. So, him and his homeboy and his homeboy's girl, they all go over to the girl he's dating house to hang out. And things get heated up. And he's thinking, okay, I'm going to have sex. But the girl tells him that she wants all three of them. So him, his homeboy, and his girl, she wants all three of them to take turns banging her. Yeah. Cheers. And at first he kind of understands him and his homeboy, but he's like, okay, so you want her to eat you? And she goes, no, and she gives her a strap on. She wanted them to she wanted all three of them to take turns, basically gangbanging her. So she likes to share is the name of that one. This next one, number 4, is called She Likes to Take Risks. She likes to take risks. And he goes on to say, which this was not really weird. He's basically he at his job he would risky business, yeah, risky sex business. So at his job, he would always, talk to the female parking attendant all the time. And one day while he was passing through, headed to his car, he struck up a conversation with her, and she wanted to have sex. So he, took her and had sex on the back of the car. Not in the car. On the back of the car, in the parking garage. They had sex. If it's like any parking garage that I've been into that's attached to a business, there's cameras, so you all are on somebody's film doing nasty things. So that one was called She Likes to Take Risks. This next one is We Got High. We got high. This young man goes on to say, most extreme thing I had ever done. Me and a female, we got drunk together. Shit. Me and a female got drunk together. She convinces me to take GHB. For anybody who does not know what GHB is a date rape drug. So GHB is usually used by fucking, dudes who really can't get it, and they roof your chick and drop some shit in a drink. But she convinced him to take it. GHB kind of makes you semi-lucid where you're not really conscious. And after he took the GHB, she can't fucking even bring myself to say it. She penetrated him with a strap on. She penetrated him with a strap on. So my only question with this is, if you took GHB, because GHB also stops you from being able to remember what happened. So which means she told you when you came back around what happened. And since you're sending me this message, you didn't kill her. which means you were kind of cool with it. You was kind of cool with it. So, yeah. We got high. No, motherfucker, you got high. She had fun with your ass. Literally. Yeah, I have no words for that, and I'm becoming more and more grossed out as I go on. This next one is titled "The Older Woman." I didn't title these also as when they sent them in. I guess as they went through, they kind of titled it off of the previous person, but I didn't title any of these. This one is called "The Older Woman." The weirdest sex I've had with a woman. The fact that you have to preface that with a woman means you've had sex with someone other than a woman. Put a pin in that right there. The female, the lady was 41 years old. I was 19. We did loads of different positions, but she one evening she basically tried to pull his penis to the back and tried to get it into his rectal area. What's wrong with these women? What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Yo, fuck is wrong with y'all? He says some other shit, but we'll stop there because the rest of the shit just. I guess she wasn't able to make it, and she became frustrated because he wasn't long enough to reach his own rectum. Yeah, hell to the no. How much time I got left? Because I really don't want to continue. Okay, I still got some time now. I got about 12 minutes. I'll hit some more. Okay. Maybe this one brings a little more joy to me. The surprise four-way. Okay, my ex decided she wanted to have a four-way. Yeah, four ways are better than no ways. Hell, four ways are better than one. So his ex-girlfriend decided she wanted to have a four-way. And basically, she told him it was going to be with him, his current chick, her, and another female. First of all, your chick is real cool as shit because she agreed to that shit and even going over there. But when they arrived, it was basically him and his chick, his ex-girlfriend, and her new dude was at the house. Apparently him and the dude was cool with it, and they basically had, swapping of mates with each other. Yo, what town are y'all from? That shit don't happen. This one is called We Finished in Pain. We finished in pain. So he was having sex with a female, and the intercourse was yes, the middle of nowhere. That was perfect, son. That was perfect. So this one once again is We Finished in Pain. So during his sexual encounter with a female, it was fairly rough sex, and I don't know how the fuck he did this, but he tore the foreskin on his penis. But because of the state of arousal he was at, he wasn't aware. I guess he was close to climaxing and he wasn't aware for at least 10 or 15 seconds. The pain was masked by the pleasure. When he withdrew himself from her, yeah, this is nuts. After he withdrew from her, he started feeling the pain and saw the blood, but he didn't know whether he was bleeding or she was bleeding. Needless to say, he was rather embarrassed when he had to go to the hospital to have surgery to, well, not surgery, I'm sure it's just stitches, but surgery nevertheless to repair the foreskin on his penis. Can I stop? Can I please just quit right here? There's a couple more, but I think I'm close enough to the end. Can I just stop? And I'll never do a segment of this nature again. But I thought strange. I'm gonna take a parenthetic pause. When I thought strange, I was thinking of, weird situations that y'all had. No, these motherfuckers had weird sex. Weird fucking sex. Like, the fuck. But as we continued, the one that couldn't wait. I was at a university, and I was seeing a girl, and he gives a name. He said, "I'll call her," so I'm assuming that's a name he gave her. Her name is Sally. Like, we'll call her Sally. And she was the adventurous type. And one time she convinced him to have sex on the ledge of the bell tower. So, for those who don't know or can't Picasso this in their head, I'm going to help y'all out. So, a bell tower at a school is usually a very tall tower, and back in the days they would use this to signify the ending of class. So a bell tower is rather high because the bell is meant to be heard throughout the campus. So she convinced him to have sex on the ledge of the bell tower. So they're suspended very high in the air and they're having sexual intercourse on the ledge. One false move, it'll be your last nut, homie. Turns my stomach. This last one, and it's not the last one because I want it to be. I've actually endured through the end. This is the last one on the list. We got caught. They were in a state park camping. And they were having sex in a tent, which I think I've said this on a previous episode. What other reason is there to go camping than to have sex outdoors? They were having sex in a tent, and one of the park rangers came up on them. And yeah, you're absolutely right. So the park ranger came up on him. Of course, it's illegal to have sex outdoors. I guess even in a tent. I've never gotten caught, so I don't know whether it's illegal or not. And the park ranger was going to cite them, give them a citation for having sex outdoors in the park. And in order to get out of the ticket, she invited the ranger to participate in the sexual escapades. I guess the park ranger was horny too, because he got down with them, and they didn't get the citation. They didn't get the ticket. So she invited the ranger for the threesome, and I guess that's kind of proper that we ended on that one, because it is the threesome show. All right, so that's it for the list. If you're as grossed out as me, let me know. Send me a fucking DM. I am Teflon Don, the unlicensed sex doctor. Normally, everything I talk about on this show, I kind of get from research or experience. I didn't research any of this shit, and this is definitely not any of my experiences. Ever. Any of them. But I definitely want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. We are iLegacy Media. If you enjoyed my show and it grossed you the hell out, what I implore you to do is tune into The Quiet Storm tomorrow. It'll make it all worth it, because you'll feel a lot better after watching his show. So The Quiet Storm with Mr. Q comes on tomorrow, 8 p.m. If you're not a part of his group, you can become a part of the iLegacy Media group on Facebook, and we'll post his show on there as well. A lot tonight. Thursday, we have True Weight, second episode of season 2 of True Weight. If you did not catch last week's episode, you definitely want to check out last week's episode, and you want to check out this week's episode. Last week's episode had a lot of people thinking about their mental stability, had a lot of people in tears, and she revealed herself to people, and with transparency, so that other people do not feel bad about things that they might be going through. If you've never tuned into True Weight and you've only tuned into my show, I'm telling you, you're depriving yourself, because she actually she does bear all from an emotional standpoint and a mental standpoint, and you may be going through something and you just need somebody else to lean on. So lean on her show. So True Weight with Miss Amanda Alston. If you have a show idea that you want to put on yourself, or if you have advertisement that you want to do for your business, reach out to us at iLegacyMedia3@gmail.com. My time is up, and I'm out. I will see y'all next Tuesday at 8:30. I won't do anything as nasty as this, but I'm going to do some nasty shit anyway. Check out Quiet Storm tomorrow with Mr. Q at 8 p.m. and check out True Weight with Miss Amanda Alston on Thursday. We are iLegacy Media. We don't do this because we don't have anything better to do. We do it because we enjoy it, and we do it for the entertainment. I'm out. I will see y'all next Tuesday. Be easy. And there's only one way for this company to go. It's all the way up. Peace.
Nothing can stop me, I'm all the way up.